Mana?
Hello, we are from a rotational molding group, and we're going to explain about rotational molding and the details itself. I'm Sabrina Octaviani.
I'm Khalifan Muhammad.
I'm Gina Fariza.
I made an investment.
Here's our presentation outline, starting from the principle and with conclusion.
Okay, so here I'm going to explain about the rotational molding principle itself. So rotational molding, commonly referred to as rotomolding, is a polymer processing method designed to manufacture hollow plastic objects. The process begins by placing a measured quantity of thermoplastic polymer powder into a mold. The mold is then sealed tightly to prevent spillage or contamination during subsequent stages. And here are the key stages of the rotational molding process. The first stages is loading phase, where the polymer powder is loaded into the mold. The amount of material is carefully measured based on the desired thickness and size of the final product. Once loaded, the mold is securely closed. In the heating phase, the mold is rotated simultaneously along two principal axes while being subjected to heat. This dual axis rotation ensures even distribution of the molten polymer along the mold's inner surfaces. As the temperature increases, the polymer powder melts and adheres to the mold, forming a uniform layer. After sufficient heating, the mold enters a cooling stage, during which water or air is used to reduce the temperature. This cooling process solidifies the polymer, ensuring the object maintains its shape and structural integrity once removed from the mold. And the last phase is discharging phase, where the polymer has fully solidified, the rotation stops, and the mold is open, and the whole product is carefully removed. The final product typically requires minimal finishing, as the process inherently produces smooth and uniform surfaces. And rotational molding is a highly versatile manufacturing process with application across various industries. In the automotive sector, it is commonly used to produce durable components such as bumpers and interior parts. In agriculture, it is employed to manufacture essentials items like chemical storage tanks, feeders, and weatherproof, which require robust and weather-resistant properties. The medical field also benefits from rotational molding for creating prosthetics, medical equipment cases, and waste containers, ensuring hygiene and functionality. Additionally, in the realm of consumer goods, the process is used to produce items such as playground equipment and storage bins, offering lightweight yet sturdy solution for everyday use. This adaptability makes rotational molding a vital method for crafting diverse, high-quality products. And this process is particularly advantageous for creating complex shapes, uniform wall thickness, and durable products at a relatively low production cost, making it ideal for both small and large-scale manufacturing. Next.
So now we're going to the material selection of the rotational molding. So first here we have the common polymers used. So first we have polyethylene, which is the most commonly used polymer for rotational molding. Its thermoplastic properties makes it easy to heat and reshape using this process. And yeah, and then application include cargo tanks and also toys. Another common polymer is polypropylene, which has a higher heat distortion temperature and also excellent chemical properties. Resistant to abrasion, it is very suitable for food packaging applications. And we also have nylon, which is known for its high impact strength and high tensile strength. Their physical properties are maintained in high temperatures, and they're also resistant to many chemicals. So, and applications for nylon include fuel cells and air ducts. And we also have polyvinyl chloride, which can be processed in both liquid and powder forms. They can be engineered to meet certain criteria, ranging from flexible to rigid. Products include pipe like this one and another more unconventional. And then also those are also produced using this process. And yeah, we have notable, and then here are some of the notable products which will be explained later in detail during in the next slides. Yeah, and so next. So first we have bins and containers. So why can they be used with rotation molding? Because the result is a durable structure, and they also and they're also produced in short periods of time, maybe not really short, but at least it's where at least it's allows the chance for mass production. Limitations, however, is with dimensional accuracy, which rotational molding has lesser dimensional accuracy compared to other processes, and some types of polymers, especially the ones, especially the high performance ones, are not really suitable for rotational molding. Next. And another product is our automated parts for cars or other transport. And why is rotational molding suitable? Because it's ideal for lightweight structures, and we also need we also need products that are also resistant to corrosion and other chemical agents, and they also have consistent strength and durability due to the uniform wall thickness. Except in except in some cases, the thickness in complex geometries are harder to control. Uh, also, also sometimes the processing can the the production itself may be taking long because the part have to undergo many stages such as heating and then cooling and also demolding. Next. And then another product is rotation molding. Like in transports, they require large and hollow structure to hold liquid or other substances. These tanks are usually made from PE or polypropylene, like many other products that are produced using rotational molding. But because rotational molding requires gravity and heat, the final geometry might be limited in accuracy. And also, yeah, high amounts of energy must also be used to produce large tanks. Next. And then here's another product, road cones. It produces uniform thickness in the cone, like in many other products, and it also contributes to the cone's flexibility and durability. But cones produced with rotational molding might be less robust than those produced with other processes that uses reinforced materials. Also, recycled road cones also have lower pigmentation. So maybe if we compare a a cone that is rotational molded from scratch with a recycled cone, the cone that is produced from scratch will have a thicker coloring, will be more visible and visible to the visible eye. Next.
So for the important parameters that are four parameters that are material, heating, cooling, and speed. For the materials that are powder particle size, flow properties, material selection, and additive. For the powder particle size, the size of polymer powder is crucial for melting and eventually coating the mold surface. Small particle that are lesser than 500 microns ensure faster melting and uniform wall thickness. For the flow properties, materials with good flow behavior allow for better distribution of the melted polymer within the mold, ensuring complete coverage. For the material selection, uh, thermoplastic like polyethylene, polypropylene, and nylon are commonly used due to their melting and mechanical properties. And the additive like UV stabilizer, colorant, and flame retardant are used to enhance durability, aesthetic, and safety of the final product. For the heating, the major factor of rotational molding due to the change from resin to another shape using heating. The part of heating parameter are heating time and temperature. For the heating time, uh, is required to ensure the polymer melts uniformly without degradation. Uh, and for the temperature, controlled heating is essential for to maintain consistent melting across the mold. The typical temperature is between 250 degrees Celsius and 400 degrees Celsius, depend on the material. The next one is the cooling parameter, that are cooling rate and uh, uh, cooling parameter plays important thing in rotational molding for defect control from high to low temperature. That are the cooling rate and cooling method. The cooling rate is significantly impact the final product's dimension stability. The rapid cooling can cause warping or distortion, while controlled cooling minimize internal stress and shrinkage. And the last parameter is rotational speed and movement. The rotational speed uh, critical to distribute the polymer along the mold surface, and the rotational ratio is the ratio between axes that affect the polymer flow inside the mold. And next.
The next one is troubleshooting failures and product reject. And this is the common issues during manufacturing. The first issues is air entrapment. The cause of this is because insufficient heating, uh, powder quality, and cycle time is too short. And potential solutions is for insufficient heating to cook a higher peak internal air temperature, and also for powder quality, powder may be too coarse or contain tills, consult powder supplier. And for cycle time too short, we can increase the heating time. And the second issue is corner do not fill. The cause is design sharp corners or small gaps between walls, and the potential solution is to redesign mold. And the powder has poor dry flow. The potential solution is to contact the power supplier. And the third is flashing. The cause is contamination in part line. The solution is ensure good cleaning practice. And for MVI of polymer too high, the solution is change to a lower MVI grade. And the next is an evenly clamped mold. And potential solution is to check clamping mechanism. And the next is poor venting. We have to check the fan is not blocked and it's sufficient size. And the next is odor, shiny yellowish internal surface. The cause is because of overcuring. And the solution is we can reduce the temperature or heating time, reduce the peak internal air temperature. Next is wall thickness variation. The issues and the cause is poor powder qualities, tails, and poor flowability. The second one is incorrect rotation, and the last is variable heating of the mold walls. Potential solution is contact the powder supplier and check if the powder are in a good qualities. And then the next is alter rotation, and the next is check for thickness variation of the mold wall and check if shielding has the effect anything to do with the effect. And the next is warpage. The cause is uneven cooling due to the perimeter separation from mold surface. And the solution is reduce the mold cooling or apply internal cooling and reduce the mold release. The next is uneven cooling due to the large thickness variation. The solution is alter rotation ratio and review the design. And the last is poor impact properties. The cause is probably because of design. Undercure small voids are present in the wall section, and overcure internal surface is shiny. And the last is choice of polymer. And the solution is first we can review the design, minimizing any sharp corners or areas of stress concentration, cook the higher peak internal air temperature, and cook a lower peak internal air temperature. And lower density and lower MVI grades may enable increased impact resistance. This is the industry standards and testing methods. For tensile tests, we can use ACM D4745. This is the specific for materials with higher tensile strength, and if the materials is high tensile, it's reduce the opportunities of leakage to occurs. For hardness test, we can use ACMD 2240, which carry out with durometer, and precise of hardness value is important due to the excessive hardness lead. And the compressibility test is with STMF36. The next one is environmental and sustainabilities. For materials performance, polyethylene blend with 10% with 2% HDPE improve the tensile strength and Young modulus, but reduce impact strength. Recycled PA from water tanks with plastic additive achieve mechanical performance comparable to virgin PA. For important renewable and bio-based activity, we can use these types of material that can significantly lower the relation of petroleum-based materials, and alternatives not only reduce the fuel consumption but also help decreasing greenhouse gas emission throughout the production life cycle. And for energy and efficiency improvement, we can optimize rotation ratio, reduce energy consumption while maintaining materials performance. Microwave susceptible materials such as SEC Fe2O3 enable faster energy efficient heating. Robotic system improve energy efficiency and reduce cycle times by 22%. And in conclusion, rotational molding offers flexibility in creating complex hollow parts with uniform thickness. Modeling and simulation tools enhance the process predictability, optimizing heating, cooling, and material behavior. And advanced materials in reuse, such as recycled polyethylene and blend polymers, align rotational molding sustainable manufacturing goals. Rotational molding involve heat mold which filled with a charge or shot weight of the materials, and it is then slowly rotated, usually around two perpendicular axes, causing the softened materials to disperse and stick to the walls of the mold, forming hollow part. In order to form even thickness throughout the part, the mold rotates all times during the heating phase and then continue rotate during the cooling phase to avoid sagging or deformation. Thank you. Then that's all from us.